Hello and welcome to Pig Stadium, site to chase race number 3 of the Reebok Truck Series Season 3, and it's our first elimination race. Before we get to this, to how the chase grid looks, let's take a look at the starting grid. On the front row will be Kyle Collins alongside pole sitter Preston Plord, who comes into this race not in the danger zone. Stephen Pollard third, Jessica Shelton will make up row 2 with Chris Louvier, Jay Stella row 3. That's a mistake my part. Number 1, okay. Greg Jones and Zachary Fitzwater in row 4 with Tom Shelly and Paul Swanson in row 5. Here's the rest of your starting grid. Only 2 drivers know that they are safe entering today's race. Those 2 are James Shelly and the aforementioned Jay Stella, as those 2 won in the first 2 chase races of the season. James Shelly comes in as the points leader with 5,315 points. Jessica Shelton is second with 5,298. Preston Plord third, 5,269. Jay Stella fourth, 5,268. Paul Swanson, Mason Powers, Max Neworth, William Duncan, Alex Perkle, Sam Young, Katomi Nakagawa, and Charles Jackson. The rest of the top 12, those 4 drivers that come into this race not in: Seth Cole, Matt Dixon, John Irvin, Steve Pollard. Seth Cole is 2 points out, Matt Dixon is 14 points out, John Irvin 20, and Steve Pollard is 24.
Start your engines.
So when we look at that, it's going to take a near miracle for John Irvin and Steve Pollard. Actually, no, never mind. Only 24. That's not even that much. Just realized that's actually not even that much at all. No. So the field is rolling. We will carry 8 onboard cameras should we need them. They will be carried by these drivers. We won't have the time to actually go through them all because of the short pace lap here. So they are carried by James Shelly, who will be carrying the Chevy onboard, Jessica Shelton, the Napa onboard, Preston Plord, the Menards onboard, Jay Stella, the Dodge onboard camera, Paul Swanson, the Geico onboard, Mason Powers, the Bass Pro Shops onboard, William Duncan, the Toyota onboard, and Alex Perkle with the Red Bull onboard camera. You see where one of the crashes in Happy Hour happened. But the green is on. We're underway for 38 laps here at Pig Stadium. That didn't take long. Field already 3 wide by the time they enter turn 1. Jay Stella saying he wants to lead from 5th. Already going for the lead, and around goes Johnny Gardner. No caution! We stay green despite Gardner spinning. Oh, that could have been big there. Jay Stella, I believe, leads lap 1. They are already 4 wide. No, they're going to give it to Plord. Okay, they're 5 wide. That's not good. Guys, come on here, be sensible. It's lap 2. This is not going to end well. This is not going to end well somewhere. They're 5 wide for second. They're using lines that they weren't using in practice. They're 6 wide back here. Oh boy. And there goes Zachary Fitzwater. That will bring out the caution. Okay. I thought we were good. They weren't using these lines in a test race. Oh, shoot! Holy crap, how was that not a wreck? Oh, wow. And now here's going to be a problem. I was trying to fix this. I don't know if they've got fixed enough. No, not quite. That was still way better than it was in the practice race. Oh, wow. So many near wrecks there. Chris Washer is the leader. Seth Cole leads the field onto the pit lane. Let's take a look at pit stops, and then we'll take you back to see what happened with Fitzwater and the hell of a save that we just saw from the 88. Fuel only. Oh, contact on pit lane between the 34 and the 88. Alex Perkle with damage. Gonna have to see if that's gonna end his chase. And that's a lot of damage there to the side of the 34. As the top 6 will stay out, let's take a look back at what happened. And we're back. I seriously don't even know how we didn't wreck earlier. They are literally 6 wide there. But Fitzwater gets pushed up the track into Mason Neal. So far, so good. You're going to see trucks disappearing because I had to rechange graphics. Kyle Matthews is going to be the one to smack the 48. There's the 2 getting involved. Binky Louvier 69 is going to be in it. And Dylan Thoreau in the 11 as well. There's Cavagnar and Oriel Pollard. Yep. Okay. Now where did Perkle get his damage? Alright, so there's Perkle. Well, watch this save that the 88's going to make here. Contact being made there. Everyone bouncing off each other. And I don't know how on earth the 88 manages to save this. Great job there by a lot of people. But what happened to Perkle? Is he going to get run into from behind maybe? Pushed into someone? Well, he runs into the 33, but that doesn't give him nearly as much damage as we saw him on pit lane with. Oh, what? Oh, no? Okay. Thought maybe he ran into... Oh, he's going to run into another chaser. Mason Powers. Okay. Well, so that's what happened there. Let's take you back to the green flag. And we're back just in time. Field getting ready to get the green flag here on lap 8. Chris Washer is the race leader, followed by Jake Baskinger, William Duncan, Max Neuwirth, Steve Pollard, and Oriel Pollard, who all did not pit. First off pit lane was Seth Cole, then Mason Powers is 8th, Dylan Young 3rd off pit lane will run 9th, and Henry Powers the top 10. Only Kyle Matthews is out of the race. Binky Louvier is 2 laps down, but I'm not quite sure where on track the 69 is. Well, that explains that. Now it's only 1 lap down, but I'm willing to bet we'll get a penalty for that. Steve Pollard quick to make it a move on Max Neuwirth as Seth Cole quickly makes a move on Oriel Pollard as well. Let's take a look. Does the 69 get a penalty? No, still running, but has a lot of front end damage, so we'll have to see how that will affect that truck. Seth Cole to the pit lane, though. I'm guessing for the damage, maybe? Either they had a pit road penalty, I don't know, one or the other. So that will be that's going to be a tough break for the 34. And might be the chase over for the defending champion. But Mason Powers now into 6th as he inherits that spot. Steve Pollard going to go for 3rd here on the 30. Battle between chasers there to be the top chaser on track. And Steve Pollard needing to do everything he can. He came into this race 16th. As Binky Louvier now will lose the 2nd lap once again. The damage on that truck just going to be too much. They're going to be off the pace. Not by much, only about 5 miles an hour, so normal Binky Louvier standards to be 5 miles an hour off the pace. But William Duncan, though, gets held up a little bit on the outside line by Binky Louvier. Now it's going to be 3 wide. Looking for a way to try and get inside of the 69 there to try and pass that truck on track. And just continuing to lose spots. Now has lost a spot to John Irvin. Oriel Pollard continuing to lose spots after he didn't pit. And now finally William Duncan will get clear of that. And battle for the race lead. Jake Bassinger now takes the race lead away from Chris Washer as Seth Cole will go one lap down to the race leaders. And here comes Max Neuwirth. He's going to get second away. Washer got into the wall a little bit, gets off of it. James Shelly, most recent race winner now, looking for second. Looking for 2 race wins in the round. That would be a 30-point advantage going into next round should he get it. Mason Powers, though, looking to make sure that he doesn't get that advantage. A lot of red and blue up here. I see 7 chases in that one shot. Duncan, Powers, Shelly, Pollard, Young, Stella, and I even saw Neuwirth. Now Irvin makes up that picture as well. Gonna be hard to make up points when all the chases are running in the spots that give out 5 and 4 points each. And Jessica Shelton going to make it 4 wide as well. She's making a move inside the 6. Trying to gain a few spots here through that corner. We saw that the field can... Okay, a little bit of a lag spike there. Nope, we're good. Just probably that part of the track. We saw that in that first run. They can make 4 wide work. They can even make 5 wide work. It's 6 wide that is not too keen on. Well, and they're going to go for the 5 wide again. Kyle Collins looks a little loose. Shelly a little bit unstable there through that corner. Five wide again. Tim Greenwich on the far bottom. Louvier a little loose through 1 and 2. Seth Cole right in the middle of all of this. And fortunately for him, he pretty much has to be. He needs to get up there and get the lead back in case there's a caution. Or not get the lead back, but get back in front of the leaders should there be a caution. A little bit of rubbing doors in the corner. Neuwirth, Stella. So chasers. And Neuwirth a little bit of contact there with Sam Young. All over the track is the 50. As Baskinger kind of clears away a little bit. Chris Washer back to the lead. And those two are about the one safe zone on this entire track. Johnny Gardner was spinning earlier in the race. He's back up in this lead pack. Oh, sideways gets the 50 because contact. Saves it though. 72 almost turned him sideways. Jeff James inside 3 wide. Here's where all this action's at. Mason Powers and around goes a chaser in front of the field. Shelly's in it. Stella's in it. Gardner, Powers, Duncan, Louvier all in it. Caution flag flies. And that is big time chase implications. Alex Perkle is riding around with no hood. And a lot of damage to a lot of chasers. And someone was trying to pit here, right here. I don't know who was. Either the 6 or the 50 was trying to pit. I think, well, judging by the positioning there and who was pushing who, it has to be the 50 was trying to pit. Couldn't get there, and the 6 was in front of him. So look back through to see what's going on with who there. But the leaders will not pit. Mason Neal inherits the race lead. Let's take a look back at what happened. And we are back. Here's where this incident starts. It's actually no one that hits Powers, but it's actually secondary wreck reacting to this one that gets the major part of this incident for the damage. But watch the 42. Chaser spins a chaser here. Stella. Contact made between the 19 and the 12, and the 12's the one that spins the 3. But it's actually the 12 spinning, or coming back up the track there. You see into Stella. Steve Pollard gets a piece, and that's where the extra incident starts. You see William Duncan and Amanda Shelly go around. You see nothing with powers here. So he'll be able to continue easily. William Duncan, the major hit in this. He came into this race 8th in the points. Only about plus 60 over Jackson. So that would put him plus 62 maybe. There's Seth Cole. He got a piece of it. Zorline. Paul Swanson actually got turned as well. Now someone comes... Oh my gosh. Tom Shelly just comes barreling in. Dylan Thoreau gets an extra piece. You see the black smoke on Duncan. His day done, and now he's going to have to sit and pray in the garage area that something else happens here to take out maybe some of the chasers behind him. He'd be looking specifically at Sam Young, Seth Cole, Matt Dixon, John Irvin, maybe his own teammate, Steve Pollard, someone in there. But Duncan's day over. He came into this race 8th in the points. And we are back. Mason Neal is the race leader over Jeff James, John Irvin, Trevor Germain, Kato Nakagawa, Jessica Shelton, Hiroshi Kazuyoshi, Greg Jones, Stephen Pollard III, and Zach Kreller, the top 10. Matt Dixon, Sam Young, Eric Powers, Dylan Young, Chris Louvier, Preston Plord, Paul Swanson, Sky Commons, Dylan Thoreau, Chris Washer, top 20. Stella, chaser in 21st. Jackson, 22nd. James Shelley, 26th. Just going down where the other chasers are. Steve Pollard is 30th. Alex Perkle, 32nd. Mason Powers, 34th. And Max Newer, 36th. Seth Cole now 37th on the day because of the incident. Those out of the race, Binky Louvier, William Duncan, Amanda Shelly, and Tom Shelly. So William Duncan's chase hope's kind of taking a damper. The drivers behind him, Alex Perkle, Sam Young, Kato Nakagawa, Charles Jackson, Seth Cole, Matt Dixon, John Irvin, Steve Pollard. That's the only spot he can get help from. One of those trucks is actually his teammate, and 2 of those trucks have already had issues today. So we'll have to see how that happens. But on the restart, John Irvin, Kato Nakagawa to the race lead as a pair of chasers inherit the top spot now. Nakagawa wants the race lead. And at the line, the 7 leads the lap. Still a lot of chases up here at the front. Trevor Germain's going to make it 3 wide with Jessica Shelton and John Irvin. Zach Kreller going to throw his name into that mix, as well as Trevor Germain's going to go for the lead. The unsponsored 61 truck will lead at Pig Stadium. And here comes Matt Dixon in what has proven to be a race of survival today for these chasers. As Johnny Gardner's coming out of the pits. Several drivers came out of the pits there. That's spots for Seth Cole. Already 4 wide again as they'll come to 10 to go, this time by. Four wide here, 3 chasers in there. As Nakagawa now inches ahead a little bit. Here comes John Irvin. Zach Kreller now leads. Seth Cole trying to get his lap back. Maybe he's coming up on the inside line. Yes, that's now up to 33rd through all that. Jay Stella's off the pace. There's James Shelley, Henry Powers, Mason Powers, Alex Perkle. All out of the draft, basically. And these are the guys that are kind of just riding around. Chris Washer's the lap down. Had to make an extra pit stop apparently. Not exactly sure for what. Nearly some contact there between the 84 and the 9 though. 62 pulls down almost onto the 03. That could have been big. Look at the back bumper of Eric Powers' truck. He's been in a mess or two today. South Point Hotel and Casino Chevy. As they're 5 wide once again. 3 chasers in that 5 wide. Oh, contact! Around goes Swanson and Shelton. And the race back to the line is going to be Chris Louvier leading. I saw the 9 go around. We're going to look at this first and make sure no one stacks up. I thought I was trying to... Unfortunately, I apologize for some of the racing today. What I did was I did some edits to try and make sure the trucks weren't getting stuck in the wall, and I think that edit has led to some of the racing from today. Preston Plord with damage. Jay Stella, Steve Pollard, Alan Cavagnaro, Mason Neal, Swanson, Fitzwater. Kyle Collins' day is done. There's Dylan Young. Jake Bassinger's day is done. Preston Plord just inching along right now. That car is not going to make it back. So let's take a look at what happened there to bring out the caution once again. And we're back taking a look at what happened here following the 03 of Paul Swanson. You see Stephen Paul III makes an extra arcing move there to go inside of the 03. And the 03 starting to go up the track. It's going to make contact maybe with the 17. Looks, well, no, comes off of that. No, Nakagawa's going to turn the 72 right up into the 84. There's the 9, and the 9 gets up into the 34. That's going to be what spins Jessica Shelton out. Nakagawa hard into the wall. The 35 in there as well. Swanson gets hit by the 1. And actually on his side, there's Preston Plord. And here comes the field that was already off the pace. Fitzwater. Oh, Steve Pollard there as well. There's Preston Plord in it. And Cavagnaro also plowed into it as well. All things considered, actually fairly tame wreck for the 9. Didn't get a whole lot of damage in that. Let's go ahead and take some of our onboards for the first time today. Onboard, Paul Swanson. Last onboard for this wreck, looking at Mason Powers' view as he drove through the wreck. And we are back. It's going to be a one-lap shootout here from Pig Stadium. Chris Louvier leads over Matt Dixon, Jeff James, Zach Kreller, Sky Commons, Eric Powers, Greg Jones, Trevor Germain, John Irvin, and Sam Young. Stephen Powell III runs 11th. Then Charles Jackson, Dylan Thoreau, Max Newer, Tim Greenwich, Jonathan Zorline, Mason Powers, Alex Perkle, Henry Powers, and James Shelley top 20. Jessica Shelton 21st. Katana Nakagawa 22nd. And Jay Stella, the lead lap car's 23rd. Dylan Young actually also is still on the lead lap in 24th. Those out of the race. After that one, Hiroshi Kazuyoshi, Kyle Collins, Jake Bassinger, Zachary Fitzwater, Mason Neals, Paul Swanson, Preston Plord, Steve Pollard, Alan Cavagnaro. That's probably going to be a big saving grace to the 30 William Duncan on who fell out of that. I don't know. We'll have to see. But the green flag's back out. One lap to go from Pig Stadium. Can Chris Louvier hang on to it? Well, sign's looking good. Jeff James going to grab second. Louvier's going to have to block him. Not going to be able to do so. Can Zach Kreller make the move, though? Kreller's going to look inside of Jeff James. It's going to be a photo finish here. And at the line, I couldn't call that. This much I know, Louvier was third. Who did they give it to? Kreller! In a dead heat to the 100th. 0.04 of a second! Granted, a little bit scripted because of the fact that it was a one-lap shootout, but still, closest Truck Series finish yet this season. Yet, as Dylan Young's gonna end up glitching out the results. Yep. Dylan Young glitched out the results. Yay. So, the race winner, despite the fact that it's going to say retired, Zach Kreller, then Jeff James, Chris Louvier, Eric Powers, Trevor Germain, Matt Dixon, John Irvin, Sky Commons, Greg Jones, and Sam Young, the top 10. Rest of the lead lap finishers you see there, Jackson, Pollard, Newworth, Greenwich, Zorline, Perkle, Powers, Shelton, Powers, Shelly, Stella, Nakagawa, and Thoreau. Those were the lead lap finishers. Dylan Young's going to get credited one lap down. And 29th on down, not finishing the race in what was a chaotic day, unfortunately. With that, I'd like to thank you for watching. Coming up next are the points to show you who is still in contention for the Reebok Truck Series Season 3 title. I literally have no clue with how wild this was. You had William Duncan, that was one of the guys in, wrecked out. Steve Pollard wrecked out. He's probably not going to make it. I honestly don't know. It'd be pure speculation at this point. No chaser wins, so no chaser locked into round 2 after this one. And the points will reset. So like I said, thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you haven't today. I'll see you next time.